we had struggled with infertility for 9+ years, and so we did eventually end up getting pregnant, or I ended up getting pregnant, and so then I had always wanted to have midwives in the picture. I didn't know what that looked like, if it was going to be in a hospital setting or if it was going to be at home. And talking with my husband, he was a little nervous about just how, if we weren't in a hospital, you know, being at home, like he just was a little nervous about that. So I just did a bunch of research and found Roots and Wings, and when we first got on the interview with Rebecca, we both felt so at ease and just like, oh, okay, this is so nice. We really like this woman, and just like what their business stood for, and just I think we could say like we already felt cared for at the very beginning, because we were running late and you were ready to go and you were very patient with us. So that was very put us at ease, because we were, you know, brand new parents, just like, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what questions to be asking or anything. So that day we were very much like, yes, we're gonna go Roots and Wings. My husband was still pretty nervous about home birth, so we decided we would have our baby here at Roots and Wings in their suite. So we started coming to the prenatals, which were amazing. Every time we came, like, we just felt like we had so much, again, care and support. I never felt rushed or like, okay, you know, get out. Whereas like I know, like with other friends, like we had heard, especially in the hospitals, they just didn't feel like they were cared for or felt rushed out. I just felt very like thankful that like, okay, this is so good. And I really do feel like that helped with my pregnancy in the way of, I didn't feel stressed out. I really did not. I know a lot of people ask me, especially because we did struggle with infertility, like, oh, are you nervous about having a baby? And I'm like, honestly, I have so much peace. That is from the Lord, first off. But I really do also think it was from the people that we had surrounding us, especially you guys at Roots and Wings. It was just a good, every time we came, I looked forward to going to the prenatals and just hearing more of like, from the other moms who had babies before us, and also seeing other moms who this was their first time. Oh, I loved the groups. Yeah, no, I loved doing the groups. It was neat because I met some of the moms, and like one of them actually went to the church I was attending, and that just built that relationship up more. And we're always excited to see when we see each other. But I'm like, I don't think I would have gotten to know her, you know, just because we go to a big church. And there was another mom there as well that, again, that I got to hear more of her story afterwards, and we've definitely kept in contact as well. So I will say, like, yeah, the groups were wonderful, like very educational wise, and just helped, especially my husband, because he had no idea about anything about birth or any, you know, labor or anything. But for me, definitely like the friendships that came out of it were very sweet and are probably going to last a lifetime. So it was in May 24th, I started contracting at like 11 p.m. So then by May 25th, we were like, okay, we probably need to head in. I just was really nervous because I'm like, I don't want to be one of those moms that like comes in too early or just like is like stressing out about it. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna stay at home as long as we can. But then I was like, I think that's when I was starting to get nervous. Like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. But again, my husband called, and I didn't ever feel again like I was inconvenienced or like you're being dramatic or anything like that. So we came in, and I, again, like Rebecca, you were just so calm and just loving, and it just was so sweet. Because again, I think I just internalized, like, and probably just from my experience just with infertility and having to go to different doctors and offices and stuff, like it just, there's a lot of that feeling of, I don't know, just feeling like you're not being heard, or that you're being dramatic, or that you know, you just need to keep trying harder. I think I just had internalized a lot of that, and so coming into this birth and everything, I just was like, I'm like, I felt like every time I was just like, am I being dramatic? Am I being too much? No one ever made me feel that way. I will say that. Like, no one ever made me feel that way. Yeah, so we kept going, and, or I kept going, and I just felt like it had been several hours of being in labor, and it just had gotten to the point that I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. And I just remember telling my husband, say, I am in so much pain, I am so tired, and I don't know if I can do this anymore. And so I know he went and talked to you guys. I'm not exactly sure everything that transpired. My husband came in and said, like, we can go to the hospital, but it's up to you. And because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go to the hospital because I just was like, felt like I was quitting. Like, I felt very, like, I am letting down everybody. I'm letting myself down. Like, I don't want to do this, but I knew I needed to. But then Laura came in, and she just was very kind and just was like, you know what, Natalie, like, it's okay. Like, it is okay that you're doing this. And she told me a part of her story that just made me feel like, okay, I'm not weak and I'm not making the wrong decision here. Like, I have to make this decision for me and my baby, and this is the right decision. So yeah, so we we got out of here and headed to the hospital. We actually went to our car. I don't know if you know this part, but we went to our car. Elijah had left the lights on all night long. I was like, oh no. So I was in labor, like coming up the ramp back to you guys, because I was like, one of you are gonna have to drive me to the hospital. And then thankfully, though, one of our friends had given us like a little booster kind of packet thing like a week earlier. And so Elijah got that in, and so I was almost up the ramp, and he's like, where's Natalie? He's like, the car's going. He's like, Natalie, get back here. And so we go, and we didn't know, again, because we had not prepared for a hospital birth. We did not know where we were really going at the hospital. So we got into the parking garage, and again, I'm contracting, so we're having to stop every couple of steps just because I'm like, I can't walk. And nurse eventually found us and was like, oh, like, come this way. We knew you guys were coming. So they got us in, and then it was just like an hour of like waiting because like they had to do like the intake forms and everything. And so then they did give me an epidural. It did not go well, unfortunately. But then we got like an hour of sleep, which was huge. Yeah, the nurse came in and was like, okay, it's time to push. So we started going with that. I know you did come in at one point. Like, I think you had been texting with my husband. Again,
I don't remember when I got there,
yeah,
but I did come there at some point.
Yes, you did. And again, that was huge because I'm like, my brain was not, like, they were asking me all sorts of questions, and I'm like, I don't know. Just don't put anything in my baby. Like, I just couldn't remember. They kept asking me all these questions. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, just out of my element because I'm in labor, but then also we just didn't realize like what was going to happen. So then, yeah, just like all the questions, like both of us were like, I don't know. So then with Rebecca coming in and just, I just was like, just at peace. Like, I was like, okay, I can just release and let go and just focus on the baby. Because, beforehand I was like, what about this? What about that? But at the same time, like, there's a nurse like, okay, we need to push. Like, then, yeah, on May 26th, at 9 a.m. Addie was born. And to the very end, I was like, I just felt like the Lord just really kept that promise of she's going to be fine. And she was. She was a perfectly healthy, strong baby girl, and she has continued to be that way. So even though, yes, it wasn't the birth that we wanted, there still was so much good that came out of it. We're very thankful just for you guys and just for even afterwards, because I definitely afterwards, like the postpartum, like just hits hard, especially I think with what had happened with me, it just hit even harder. And it was just traumatic in a way. You know, there definitely were those feelings of like, I failed, you know, just all these questionings of like, was I too weak? Like, did I do something wrong? Should I have done more? All these different things that go through, I think, every mom's mind of like, how did this birth go? It did not go the way we wanted it to go. But now on the other side, like 8 months later, I'm like, okay, I would want to do this again. Maybe not the same exact way, but I'm like, oh, I would want another baby eventually. But I will say afterwards, I still continue to feel cared by you guys. You know, I even told Laura, I'm like, I just felt like I just let you guys down, like, and more of like, I'm like, we were all a team and I just let my team down. Like, again, she was like, that is not true. Like, take that out of your mind. Like, just wipe that away. Like, that is absolutely not true. And you did what was best. And I think you know, you guys all said this a lot. You got to do what's best for you and your baby. So that was just huge. And also healing to talk to other moms who have had that, like, and just like, okay, because I think especially during that time, I almost like was like thinking of just me, and that this is the only person who's ever experienced this, even though I knew that wasn't true. But at the time, I really was just like self-focused and just very much like, I'm the only one who went through this, and this is like, everybody else had these beautiful stories, and this is what I think that, you know, was, you know, why I wanted to have midwives a part of our story. And, you know, my sisters had that experience, so I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. Like, and I think it just was a time of, oh, that didn't go the way I wanted it. But again, it's been healing to talk about it. Even today, it's been healing to talk about it. And like, I was asking a friend to pray for me because I'm like, I don't want to cry. Even though, like I said, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I wanted, you know, this story to be an encouragement to other moms that it's sad. It is sad when it doesn't go the way you wanted it to go. But there is, you know, that light at the end of that tunnel. You know, I could say that now, like, I feel like I'm almost like on the other side of me. Like, I did really feel like I was like in the depths of despair. Like, I didn't get to really enjoy her first couple of weeks because I just was so sad. But then also feeling like I had to be put together and like, it's fine, everything's fine. People would come and visit our house and come and see her, and which was really nice, but it just also was really like hard because I just felt like I had to put up this like front of like, I'm okay, everything's fine, I can be put together and do, you know, everything. And whereas like I really was just sad. And
if you could go back and tell yourself something about birth before you gave birth, what would you want to tell yourself?
I think it would have been to have listened. I felt like I had done all the right steps and everything, but I think I hadn't listened enough to other moms who had said like, it's okay if it doesn't go exactly to plan. You know, it's birth. Nothing is predictable. It's other than the baby is going to come out one way or another. And I don't want to say it was pride, but it was just like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a mindset out there that if you do all the right things, you can guarantee a certain outcome.
Yes, yeah. I'm like, I got, you know, it's like the right formula. And I'm like, yeah, I got it all. Like, I was working out, I was eating right, like, I was feeling good. So I'm like, yeah, this is going to assure me that, or I thought in my head of like, yeah, like I am going to have a good birth. Everything is going to be great.
And then birth did what birth does, which is to add in a little something unpredictable that you didn't see coming.
Yes.
And that is so normal.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like one of the other things I would say too is like, I did not rest. Like, even after her, it was hard to rest when you have a newborn. But I just didn't take advantage of asking like people like, can you help me so that I can rest? Or, you know, and even leading up to her birth, I just didn't I did not rest. I was just like cleaning the house and like just staying up and playing solitaire because I was like, I was excited. I really was excited about it, but at the same time I should have been taking more of that, like just other people's advice, like, and now I understand what they were talking about, like rest, just rest as much as you can, rest, because again, you're running, you're running the biggest race of your life, given